We're live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Point Sports from Callicoon, New York, and around the world. We have a special guest tonight, very special guest. She's in New York, I believe Long Island, New York,
Yes.
and big Mets fan, season ticket holder, and probably the most knowledgeable that I know of the New York Mets as this dismal season begins for the Mets. We're going to try to pick it up tonight with our special guest, Stephanie Flom. How are you, Stephanie?
Hi. Thanks, Doc. I'm good. And I'm looking forward to being here tonight with everyone and talking about the Mets and the upcoming MLB season.
That's great. Great to have you. And just joining us from Oswego State University, he's in his final year there, just finishing up. Stephen J. How are you, Stephen J.?
I'm doing great, Doctor. How are you doing?
Oh, just fine. It was warm temperatures here today, a little windy, but the kickoff to spring, really festive time here in Callicoon, New York.
Oh,
We're
yes.
so glad to be here. Also, Bobby Blackjack from New Jersey is here with us as well, and he'll be joining us in just
What's
a
up?
couple of
What's up?
minutes. How are you, Bobby? There he is.
I'm just saying hello to everybody. I'm going to do my thing now. You guys, start off the show. I hate the way
All
it
righty.
says. Hold on, I'm gonna change that banner. Can't be cutting off Steve's face like that. There we go.
Yeah, Bobby not only hosting tonight,
There you
but
go.
also producing and directing from his studio in New Jersey, his dimly lit studio. Stephanie Flom, the festive Mets flag in the background.
Yeah.
Even though big loss today, the score already in. Two big losses. That's, I think, three in a row for the Mets. It's early yet. How do you feel?
So the last three games were not fun. The Mets really don't like Milwaukee. They're actually 18 for 21 there in losses since 2016. So not too good. But yeah, I've been feeling good. I love Steve Cohen, our new owner. He's not afraid to spend money, and us Mets fans are not used to that. Um, I really do like our pitching. Edwin Diaz was a big loss that he's out for the season, and Justin Verlander, which hopefully he'll be back soon. But I'm feeling good. Our lineup needs some work. I think it'd be nice if they brought up some of the younger guys, but we'll see. They come home Friday, so hopefully they'll turn things around then.
And tell us, how long have you been a Mets fan?
I've been a Mets fan. Honestly, I got very into it the last, I would say, 6 to 7 years. I always rooted for them, but I've become diehard since then. I'm there like 20 to 30 games a season, watching every game. So I'm very into it.
Very nice. And we have the young Stephen J. from Oswego State. Why don't you take it over, Stephen? I know Stephen's a Yankee fan. He's from New York, so I know that maybe when the Yankees aren't playing, he may root for a young Mets team. But take it away, Stephen. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great, Doc. I don't know if you guys could, but I could not hear Stephanie. I don't know if that's part of the technical difficulties issues. So unfortunately, I couldn't hear any of that if there was any. But yeah, another good day of baseball if you're a Yankee fan. Another bad day of baseball if you're a Met fan. Make it three in a row versus the Brewers. Brewers are a good team, but coming into this game, they're 19 up through two games and never a pretty sight. And the Mets, they had them on the ropes. Would have been a great way to get out of that series. Just maybe win one against Milwaukee and get the heck out of there, and maybe leave at 500 or 4-3. But that wasn't the case. Where in a 6-6 game, and of course that first ghost of losing Edwin Diaz haunted the Mets, and that could be very well the storyline of this year. I said a couple shows ago where relievers are expendable, where you can afford to lose a reliever or two. The Yankees did fine without Mo when he went down. A lot of bullpen arms are very, very interchangeable. Really, it's kind of something that you haven't seen before. A big deal like that for Diaz. I think that's what kind of added insult to the injury there. No Diaz, of course, this year hurting himself in the WBC. That was after getting $102 million. So, if you're a Yankee fan, great day today. But Mets, obviously, just like Chris Monty said yesterday, it's way too early to start sounding the alarm. Once you get into probably June or July, you can start ringing the bell. But so far, I mean, it's just some growing pains, a lot of injuries for both the Mets and the Yankees staff. But just another great day of afternoon baseball on a very rainy Wednesday here up at Oswego.
So when will you go to the home opener, Stephanie? When is the Mets home opener?
The Mets home opener is Friday. Can you hear me, by the way? I know Steven said
Yes.
you can hear me. You're
You
able
hear Steven?
I cannot.
to? Okay.
Okay. I can hear Stephanie. Can you hear Stephanie, Bobby?
Yes, I'm good.
Bobby.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
making sure.
Yeah, I
But-
can hear.
okay. Yeah, the Mets home opener is Friday. I unfortunately will not be there because it's tax season and I'm an accountant, but I will be there definitely soon during the homestand.
And I want to ask you this. I see you all over the internet. You're known as an internet influencer, an internet sensation, sometimes described as a heartthrob, gorgeous.
Um,
Can we ask you right now, are you single?
um, wow, Dot didn't expect that question. Um, Not exactly, but I don't really want to get into that right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just so many questions surrounding Stephanie Flom before all the advertising coming up to this All Point Sports show. I just had to get it out there. But Stephanie, your dad Rick, does he go to the ball games with you? Your parents go? Who goes to the games?
He does go with me a lot. I go with different people to the games. I go with my family, I go with friends. Sometimes, you know.
And how long have you been a season's ticket holder?
Um, well, season ticket holder, I did for a couple years. Some years I just do go game by game, just because I find it easier that way. But I've been going to 20 to 30 games a year since 2017. So.
Very nice. Very nice. So you talked about Justin Verlander. That was a big pickup for the Mets in the offseason. When do you expect Justin to be back?
Well, he did get positive test results today that his inflammation was healing. So he's still throwing. It's not a very severe injury, it looks like. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, but I guess we'll see. We're definitely missing him right now.
Very nice. Stephen J., how are the Yankees doing?
The Yankees are making do with what they have. Obviously, going into the year with 3/5 of the rotation down, and of course a couple other injuries. Harrison Bader, their outfielder. Now, even early on, looks like Josh Donaldson may be on the shelf after pulling up lame. The Yankees have a good amount of depth, but now that big depth has become regular everyday players, and now you're going to need to start shuffling through the minor leagues. So early on in the year, it's never ideal for a Yankee team to kind of be shuffling through the minor league system or the free agency pool. Just kind of, no one ever likes to see injuries in baseball, but the Yankees winning both the series against the Giants and the Phillies, both two respectable teams. Obviously, the Phillies winning the pennant last year. You had to expect that Kyle Schwarber was going to hit a bomb or two over that short porch. But of course, the Yankees got out of there clean. A great start from Garrett Cole, which is what we needed considering Herman a little iffy the day before. So, that's our ace. That's our stopper after falling yesterday. And like I said, two respectable teams. It's an interesting way for the Yankees to start the series at home against the Giants and also at home against the Phillies. Certainly a little bit of a different schedule, which is probably going to happen this whole year where they shook it up a bit. I'm not sure the exact amount of games, but a lot of people in the division, not as much interdivision play. But I think the Yankees have the day off tomorrow, considering that they already have postponed it, I believe, against the Orioles. And maybe that's good so that the Yankees can kind of get their wits about them, get a little update on Donaldson, see if they have to put him on the shelf, get some more rest, because I believe yesterday was supposed to be a bullpen day for the Yankees. So maybe they can even get regular rest for their number 2 starter, which I would believe is Clark Schmidt. I know that the Mets are also postponed tomorrow, so very ugly day. But so far, the Yankees, looking good. 2 good starts from Cole. And of course, you have more guys showing up like Glaber and Judge. It's, at the beginning of the season, when you see guys that are doing great, you're gonna think, oh, this is gonna be them the whole year round. And then when you see guys doing bad, you give them a pass because you tell them it's April. So just finding that middle ground is, but just keeping up with all these games, it's a blast, Doc. Have you been watching your fair share of Yankee games? Have you been?
Oh yes,
Up with
I
the
really enjoyed Nasty Nestor. He really pitched a great game. Only gave up the 1 run, and that's coming out of number 3 or 4 starter. So that's a good sign for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and it's going to be a big year for Nestor because last year was kind of his full season to get onto the scene, and now that he's kind of in year 2 of being that number 2 guy, they're going to need him, especially with Rodon and all these injuries. So keep stretching out Nestor, and hopefully he can provide some very quality stuff. You love to see Nasty Nestor, and he's a creative pitcher as is. And now with all these new pitch clock restrictions and rules, he's certainly got a little bit more funky with it. So it'll be fun to watch. And yeah, it's all gonna. Bobby Blackjack, your thoughts on the Yankees so far? A full week through the season.
Come on, Steve, you cannot tell me you're not happy that Josh Donaldson's hurt.
I'd never wish a player to get hurt.
I know that, but
I'd be happy.
I'm with you on that. But if there's anybody you want to see, pushed out the door a little bit, is Josh Donaldson. By the way, we have our first comment ever on the All Points Sports Show. Justin Yu.
You could have just said our first comment tonight. You didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? So, see, Stephanie's bringing the juice.
You could have just said tonight. We
Bringing in
make
the
it
fans.
seem like we're pea shooters over here.
I know, Stephanie's bringing the juice, right? She's bringing the power.
There we go.
So what is Justin saying?
He said, "Hi, everyone." Then he said, "Let's go Mets." It's on there right now. And then we have another. We have a laughing emoji from Jason McMillan.
All right.
I'm guessing these are all Stephanie's fans here because the first time they're checking out the show here. So
Influencer.
We
Influencer.
want to ask Stephanie. Stephanie, we're talking about pitching for the Yankees. Let's talk about some pitching for the Mets. You mentioned Scherzer had 11 strikeout his first game. How did Scherzer do his second game?
Yeah, so Scherzer, it seems like toward the end of both of his outings actually that he was a little rusty. I think he let up 3 or 4 back-to-back home runs before he left the game the other day. So not great, but Scherzer's a veteran and he is a really intense player who wants to win, so I think that he will snap back and be okay, but definitely wasn't great, yeah.
Well, he's ranked number 1 right now. And if you go to the Caesars app to pick the most strikeouts in the National League for which pitcher, and Scherzer is number 1. He's favored to have most strikeouts. Do you feel at the end of this season that Scherzer will be the number 1 strikeout leader?
Not to be biased, I'd love to say yes. I think he definitely has a good chance though. If he's not number 1, I think he'll be in the top 3 or 4. But yeah, he seems to do it every year, so definitely a good chance.
Very nice. And what do you feel on that, Steven? Who are your strikeout leaders in the National League?
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know if I have a chance to rebuttal. Going back to your first question, I heard basically what Scherzer did yesterday, which was nothing. But to go back to the second question of who's going to be your strikeout leader, I mean, it could certainly be a New York versus New York. I mean, Cole, the Yankees, I think it was the opening day record for strikeouts in Game 1. I think today he even had quite a few sat down. So if I couldn't pick Garrett Cole, I'd probably pick maybe Castillo from the Seattle Mariners. He's certainly made himself very comfortable, very quick. And I'm sure this is one player that Bobby Blackjack, we might have to look out for because I'm not liking what I'm seeing from them. A couple of Rays pitchers that have certainly looked very, very good, whether it's McClanahan, who has pitched very well through 2 games, or Jeffrey Springs, who had that opening day shutout. Those could be 2 guys. Now, I know they love to mix in their innings and bullpens, so probably won't be up high up in the strike zone or the strikeouts, considering they don't really get a whole lot of innings, the Rays. As soon as you're twice through the rotation, they say, all right, see you later. Blake Snell can attest on that. But either Garrett Cole or Luis Castillo for the AL. For the NL, there's certainly a whole lot of options. I mean, Sandy Alcantara, he's so young. We saw the other day how he can just go through 9 innings on only 100 pitches. You need a workhorse like that to really, have the record on that. Doc, did we get a number for Garrett Cole for the Caesars app? Because you said that Scherzer was the best for the NL. For the AL, was that is Cole the leader?
Let's find out right now. And we were talking baseball right here. The balanced schedule. How do you feel about that, Stephanie? About no loading up against the bad teams this year. You got to play everyone. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it should be interesting. I do like that we're playing more teams because it's cool, especially going to games to see all different players and teams. Like I'm hoping to see Otani maybe this year, which would be awesome. But at the same time, it is weird. I feel like to not be playing your division so much because that is who you're fighting for the title against. So I guess it's good and bad. It definitely should be interesting though.
So real quick, Jason McMillan, I guess he was doing his own show, and he, I do my little producing thing, and he popped on and check us out. So Jason, welcome aboard. By the way, if you want your own show on Blackjack TV, reach out to me. That's what I do.
He pays great.
Yeah. Well, the numbers have changed on the strikeout leaders. Garrett Cole would be the favorite now. DeGrom, the former Met, would be second. Corbin Burns, and Dylan Cease, and Spencer Strider, and then Max Scherzer. Scherzer's numbers have gone down since the disappointing game. But it's early in the year. It's still cooler weather. Now the temperatures are starting to pick up a bit, and I think we're going to see the bats start to really swing.
Yeah, that's
from
right.
many hits and home runs, especially the Yankees' way. What about the Mets? Is the ballpark built for home runs, Stephanie?
No, that's definitely more a Yankee Stadium thing. But yeah, not really at Citi Field. But Pete still hits them.
What is it like at a Yankees Mets game? What's the intensity there? How does it flow there when you're at Citi Field, Yankees Mets? How do you feel that day? Is it a little more special?
Yeah, it's definitely intense. I've been to Yankees Mets at both Citi Field and Yankee Stadium, and everyone's definitely very territorial. There's sometimes some fights, so definitely an intense day. But I actually went to the game, I believe it was in 2021 when they played on September 11th, which that was an awesome day because they did a whole 9/11 tribute and it was the 20th anniversary. So, both teams did a whole honor and memory to the day. So that was really special. But usually it is pretty intense. I don't know if you've been, Steven, but very crazy.
I'll tell you one thing. I believe one of the last 2 seasons of a Yankees Mets Subway Series each year, Doc. I remember seeing John Noto's son on the screen. All of a sudden, I'm watching the game, and there's John Noto's son there with his Yankee stuff on. And I believe that was at Met Stadium, Citi Field. I'm not sure.
Johnny Noto.
I got to tell you though, but the last time I've seen him, the last time I was actually at a Mets Yankees game, that was Game 5 of the World Series in 2000 at Shea Stadium. So
Yeah.
That was the last time you were at a Mets Yankees game in 2000?
Yep.
Nice.
Been a while, but hey, that's the best one to be to. Because you're a Yankee fan.
I believe the last Met Yankee game I was at, I think it might have been pre-pandemic. I do remember Judge and Gary Sanchez going yard against the Mets. It was at Citi Field. And I'll be honest, I kind of preferred a Mets-Yankees Citi Field game. I won't be the big Yankee fan that says that Yankee Stadium's the best stadium out of all of them. It certainly has its perks. But we were sitting out there, I think, by the Pepsi porch, and we saw Judge clobber a home run off of, I think it might have been DeGrom. It was either DeGrom, maybe Matz, but I think that was the last Yankee game that we saw. It was in June. I think it might have been 2018 or 2019. That was the last Subway Series I was at. But yeah, Judge teed off on them, and haven't been able to get out to a game since. Bobby Blackjack, a producer extraordinaire, maybe you can get us to broadcast live from a Subway Series game this year. I think we
Yeah.
might have to get you on that. I've been slacking.
I think honestly, I think Mr. Holiday here is the one with the connections. Yeah, he has a little more connections than I do.
You're a quarter of our guests.
I know.
You can get seats there.
Ironically, I'm on the Mets media list. I got all the Mets emails from what happens with the team. I don't know how that happened, but
Oh, wow.
I think all the their media emails on moves and whatnot. It's pretty ironic.
Well, when I was with minor league baseball, I had a connection with the Mets, and actually, some people in the big wigs now they had lower positions then. They've come quite a long way, the New York Mets, but they do a lot with public relations and getting people to ball games and a lot of school programs, getting the inner city kids to go. New York Mets do a wonderful job, as many Major League Baseball teams do with the public relations.
The only shot I have,
Kudos.
the only shot I have of us doing a live show from City Field is if they ever retire my cousin Pete Falcone's number, which is not happening. So unless it's some kind of
I think
remembering
Liberty
today he comes back or something. What's that, Steve?
I think Liberty in the background disagrees, Bobby. I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
Yeah, Liberty, what you want me to tell you? The last New York Mets Yankees game I was at, I think Jerry Koosman was pitching and Eddie Kranepool was playing for the Mets.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Not to show off the age or anything, Dockster, but man, that's wow, Ed Kranepool. That's a throwback right there. Now,
I think I know more of those Mets than I do of the Mets right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Steph, name us some of your favorite Mets players, past and current.
My favorite current player is Brandon Nimmo. I love him, and they just signed him to an extension. I love Pete Alonso, of course. Love Jeff McNeil. Love everyone, really. I do miss DeGrom. I was very heartbroken when he signed with the Rangers, but I guess it was for the best at the time. But him and Michael Conforto, and it's actually funny because three old Mets, Michael Conforto, J.D. Davis, and Wilmer Flores, are all on the San Francisco Giants now. And those were three of my favorite players. So I'll root for them a bit this year, too.
How about Lindor? How's he doing this year?
Yes, I love Lindor, too. He had a great game today. Him and Pete Alonso had a combined 6 RBIs, I think. Yeah, all the RBIs of the game. So, yeah, they both broke out today. Hopefully they keep it up.
What about it, Bobby? How your Marlins doing?
I don't know. We won today, I think. So I'm happy about that. So, like I said, we're still developing. We need some offense. Obviously, we have I think we have a pretty really good starting staff. We have one of the few female general managers in sports, which is awesome. But I think we have to really develop more of our offense. Like I said, Gleyber Torres, that's a great destination for him. I mean, a win-win for. But not now with not now. I know, Steve. Not now.
not with how he's playing now.
Yeah, he's
I
playing
think
hot right now.
got, 5 stolen bases right now. He's
Really?
I mean,
Is that many?
he's got something up there. I mean, Aaron Boone has certainly taken advantage of these new rules. They're a pretty quick team. But you're seeing even guys like Judge and Rizzo steal bases just because of all these new rules. That's encouraging more action on the base paths. But yeah, I mean, Gleyber, a home run yesterday. He leads the team in RBIs, I believe, and batting average. Stolen bases, we'll check it out. Yeah, Gleyber Torres with 5 stolen bases, 6 RBIs, definitely looking good. Obviously we could have used some arms last year, but I don't know, Bobby. I think we got out of that deal. I think Brian Cashman knew what he was doing, huh?
He did it there, but obviously, I don't think I'll ever live down the Frankie Montas trade, especially when some of those pitchers are going to be like studs in the game in a year or two, especially Waldichuk.
That was like that was really the deadline from hell, considering everyone's injured right now. None of those players are playing for the Yankees this year, whether it's Benintendi, who's gone, or everyone else who's on the shelf, Montas, Efros. and
You know,
Bader and Trevino. Yes,
you know, yeah.
it certainly was a it worked out last year considering where we got, but yeah, very very rough, and even the injuries now, like we said. We got Donaldson on the shelf. I guess Bobby Blackjack was rooting for him to pull something. That's some break. Maybe you can put that on the graphic down below. Bobby Blackjack celebrates Donaldson injury. We could do
I'm
that.
not the only one either. So
Oh,
Stephanie,
my goodness. And
you'll be the first one out of the four of us to go to a game because I don't know when I'm going to a game.
Okay.
I know we'll see. I don't know when, especially if I don't go to a game soon. You know, and I'm up there all summer, so that's not going to happen. So I want you to report in after you go to a game or two, and let us know how the pitching clock is affecting the home, the in park experience.
well,
And I
Yeah.
heard a few people calling sports radio were actually complaining because while the pitching clock is making the game faster, which is great for everybody, it's not great for those in the stands because they go to get a soda or a hot dog or a quick bathroom break, and they're missing like a whole inning because
It's-
Right.
now.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard opening day when I'm watching the Yankees. You go and you're, talking to someone. I was in the dining hall during some of the game. You go up and you refill your water, and there's already 2 outs in the inning when they just started. It's unbelievable how, your Marlins, they went through the game in an hour 59 last night. That's ridiculous. That's where, like, almost, if you're paying, $300 to sit behind home plate at a Marlins game and you're there for an hour and 59, you might not even be getting your bang for your buck there. Obviously, you are, but it's.
You're right though.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that was a
I
very
get they want to
quick game.
appeal to a younger audience by making it a little bit quicker, but so far, is it annoying when you get a strike on there by being a little slow? Yeah, but they'll adjust to it. They're professional athletes with the money they're getting paid. They can speed you up a little bit. Liberty agrees with me there as well. It's remarkable how I think the average game time is like 2:26, and but if you get up, you get a beer, a hot dog. You could go there by the 7th inning stretch, and Robertson might be in for the Mets by the time you get back. It'll be the 9th inning.
Yeah, I personally haven't noticed it too much while watching the games on TV, but I'm sure at the field it will be a different experience, so we'll see how it is. I usually try to plan to get to games early to make time out of it, and the Mets also have a new spot this year called the K Corner, which is going to be a bar with, like, I think a DJ and obviously drinks or whatever that'll be open before, after, and during the game. So I guess that'll be a place to hang out, but I know it's not the
Oh,
same.
you'll be there. If I know you from
Yeah.
this last summer and in October, you're going to be there pretty much half that game.
You know I'll be there, but the DJ won't be as good as Bobby Blackjack.
Thank you.
Wow.
So Doc, if there's one thing, here we go. Wait, my stupid thing. Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, Bobby, be right back.
We'll be right back. How about this while we're filling in time here? Very ingenuitive by me right now. So I'm listening on the Facebook live stream so I could hear our wonderful co-host Stephanie, because still without sound, which I'm very disappointed about because I was looking forward to this episode to finally get a Met fan perspective. Doc will tell you, I almost turned green because of how much I had to talk good about the Mets, just so that way we didn't have to, just keep bashing them the whole time and get a little parody in the show. So I'm listening on the Facebook stream, trying to hear the response because I've been looking forward to this. So excuse if I'm kind of looking back at my phone and putting in my earbuds and all.
Oh, I'm glad you can hear on there.
I
at
was going to
least.
suggest to do that to somehow listen because there might be a little bit of a delay, but you should be able to get the gist of the conversation.
Oh, there
We
is.
lost Stephanie real quick.
Self-talk, which is like the worst thing for me. That'll make me turn green too.
So you mentioned the K Corner, Stephanie. Is that named after Ralph Kiner? Famous Ralph Kiner?
I believe it is.
We lost her visually for a second.
Oh, do you see
Of
me?
course, Ralph
We got her
Kiner,
back.
the former
on.
broadcaster, Ralph Kiner, and home run hitter as well.
Yeah,
Doc, she's not there.
believe
Hold on.
that's what they were going for.
As soon as she gets back on, I'll put her on the screen. So, hey, we got some good momentum today, Doc. We have some, we got some viewers, we got some commentators, and of course, I'm sure there's a bunch of people watching on Villaroma TV.
And I have it plastered all over the Facebook. we're just waiting on the end of the Toronto Kansas City game to the end of the seventh now. Toronto up 1-0.
All right, and you know, I
Stephanie,
think
if you can hear us, just reset your like go out and come back in again. If you can hear us right now, just go back out and then come back into the link.
oh yeah, but kind
So
of
the Nets won, so that's a little pressure on the Miami Heat for that sixth position in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Nets winners tonight, and I believe the Knicks as well. 138, 129. It was a close
yeah.
game for a while, but the Knicks on fire.
Now,
47 and 33.
now,
Unbelievable.
exactly, yeah. I mean, as every Knicks season goes, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, even some very heated moments. One thing that, I might be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist about, if I'm not wrong, because unfortunately I can't watch every single Knick game while I'm up here. There's no MSG. They cut our cable. We got to go through all the streaming and stuff. And, I think the one streaming service that they haven't made yet is a MSG app where you can watch the Knicks. So you have to watch them on national TV, which they're not on anymore. But the Knicks, I think, Bobby, you can attest on this. Only a few games left. Randall got hurt. That was right after the screaming match with Quickly, right? Do you think that was maybe a let's get each other separated, cooler heads prevail, or do you think that that was a little bit more serious, where it's definitely 2 weeks? It's not just day-to-day thing.
It's probably a little bit of both. It's a long season, and they travel together. Everybody. Again, pro sports is the home of big personalities. That could be good. That could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So when egos get in the way, and it happens sometimes, right?
Oh yeah. And Doc, do you think Tom Thibodeau? He's a very old school coach. The Knicks are locked into the 5 seed. The Cavs are locked into the 4 seed. Both those teams are guaranteed to play each other. I believe the New York Knicks, looking at the schedule now, they don't have a lot of games left. I believe they only have 2 games left, Friday and Sunday. Do you think that Thibodeau, who's a very old school coach, and he keeps his guys in 40 plus minutes, do you think he'll rest his starters, or do you think he'll be classic Thibodeau and go right into, we're going to play every single minute, every single game? It's as if, we're playing for the 8 seed.
I wouldn't change it up now. They haven't been there in a few years. They have to come in strong, and I like the Knicks this year. In fact, if you go on to the Caesars app, they're plus 8,000. So that's to win the whole thing. And they're 5th in the power ranking right now. But that's only in the last, they were 11th. So that's the new power ranking. They picked up 6 spots. I love the Knicks this year, even without Randall. Brunson has been the weather horse there, and Josh Hart is the hustler. The Lakers, sorry to see him go. This guy he dives for the ball, and they're down by 3 or 4. He's headed in the game 100% all the time.
All right, Steph, let's get back to Steph, our special guest. So, so we know you're a Mets fan.
Which is great.
Who else do you root for? Because all right, let me guess. Hold on, let me guess.
Okay.
Normally, the lineage is Mets, Jets, right? Who else is usually in that lineage?
Islanders.
Islanders. Okay.
And then usually Knicks and Nets, it's kind of interchangeable. Do you follow basketball?
Yeah, I would say Knicks and Jets if I had to choose, but really I only follow the Mets and Islanders.
All right.
So Stephanie, the exact clone, fandom-wise, as our guest last night, Chris Monty, by the way.
Yeah.
Same 4 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be a Long Island thing.
Yeah, I'll be at the Islander game tomorrow night, actually. So.
Really? Have you been to the new stadium yet?
I have been. I like it a lot. Getting there and the parking is a little annoying, but the actual arena I like a lot. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that parking and on your way there, it's
Yeah.
it's Long Island, of course, but I heard that's brutal. But the stadium itself, I have not made it there yet. I believe my parents are going there on the 11th for Springsteen. So not only is it good
Uh-oh.
for sports, but also maybe a good concert venue as well. I haven't stopped hearing about that yet. So all right, the Islanders as well.
But what
Yeah.
about golf, Stephanie? What about golf? You into golf at all?
Golf? No, I don't really watch. I know Tiger Woods. That's about it.
There we
Well, he'll
go.
be playing in the Masters coming up starting tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh
Tiger,
yeah.
will the body hold up? We'll find out. Very tough course. Of course, the Masters every year is just a classic, and right around Easter time, and of course, my birthday always involved in the Masters somehow. Uh, that's on the final day, so that's going to be an exciting day. Uh, Middle of Passover, Easter, and the Masters all at the same time.
It's a national holiday, Doc.
yeah.
Yeah,
Doc Holliday's birthday, the Masters. I mean, what could be better? We're talking about, traditions unlike any other. There you go. That's I think for Doc's
Speaking of,
birthday, that's all he wants is to
speaking
hit a nice golf parlay.
yeah, that's right.
speaking of Passover and Villaroma, Doc, do me a favor. Look out the window. Make sure there's no orange sky coming from the.
Everything looks fine down there. It's
All right, we gotta watch. We know the history of Passover at Villaroma down over there. So
today.
Speaking of, Doc,
I was
speaking of
on-
Villaroma and time clocks, you know what can really use a time clock to speed up the game?
Don't
A
say
week
it.
33 bocce.
Oh, wow. No.
The way those guys take their time throwing that ball, man. We need a clock on the week 33 bocce games that week.
Yeah, I think week 33 bocce might be almost as intense as the World Series.
Well, give a shout out to my favorite on week 33, Iggy. And of course, the famous horse, number 8, Go Get 'em Greg. Go Get 'em Greg.
Now,
And number 7.
is it true that you guys are
Sensation.
bocce champions?
Steven, how about number 7, Sensational Stephanie
Yeah, that's the one.
There we go.
from Long Island? This horse, a true champion.
I heard that that's the second best horse in the entire field. I heard that even Steven, however, is a heavy favorite every time, but I hear that's a close number 2, that number 7 horse. Now, are you guys, Doc says that you guys are also bocce champions. Is that correct?
Yes, last year my dad and
okay.
I were bocce champions.
See, I
very
hang
exciting.
out. Okay, congrats on that. That's
Thank you.
huge. Unfortunately, I had to leave right after week 31, I think it was. So we just missed
No,
week
30. You missed
33.
No, you missed my week. So it was 30.
I was probably after week 30 because that's when Matt Holiday came up. So unfortunately, I just missed the week 33 group. Speaking of horses, I hear that it's quite the bidding for the auction. Is that correct as well?
Yeah, especially week 33. So I've
Oh.
heard, but our week is crazy with the bidding. You would think that it's real horses the way they bid, but it goes up
That's
to like
right.
$1,000. That's very intense.
Unreal.
Do we know the number, the record, Doc, for week 33 for the auction?
53-53.
Yeah,
Oh my!
Wow.
intense.
Wow.
I'm gonna put that much down on the Masters this weekend. How does that sound?
Yeah, there you go.
We'll do that. All right. So since we're talking baseball, Stephanie, we got to ask: is it World Series or bust for the Mets this year? Will you be disappointed if it's anything else but October baseball, maybe even November?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was last year. Obviously, they fell short. I was at all 3 of those wild card games. But yeah, when Steve Cohen bought the team, he said the goal was to win the World Series within 5 years. This is year 3, so we're getting halfway through it. But definitely, I mean, our payroll is, I think, the highest or second highest in baseball. It's up there. So if we don't
Not
make
even
it
close.
yeah, if we don't make it deeper into October this year, it'll definitely be disappointing. So.
Oh, you know what, Steph? You know what? You're the perfect guest right now. I've had this question burning in my mind for the past couple of days, and I was going to ask Doc. We need a sports accountant to come on the show.
Uh,
So you're a Mets fan. You love Steve Cohen. Do you watch Billions too?
I don't know.
That's him.
I know.
All right, that's supposed to be about him. So if he spends $375 million in salary, and his luxury tax bill is $200 million,
Mhm.
is that a write-off at the end?
Um,
Is that a business expense?
I should know that, right? I'm not exactly sure.
'Cause I'm
I
always
mean,
curious.
honestly, I don't think he even cares because he's making so much money from his other company. I think he made like $6 billion, something crazy last year. So I feel like to him it's just nothing. But it's crazy because the taxes are literally almost as much as the payroll.
Look, I'm just curious between him
Wow.
and the owners of the Brooklyn Nets. You
Yeah.
know, they don't seem to care if they have to pay luxury tax.
Yeah,
And
he
who wants
doesn't.
to lose money like that? Then I'm thinking the other side of the coin. I mean, I was pretty good at accounting and stuff back in college and whatnot. I do my own taxes too, most of the time. I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, maybe this luxury tax really is a tax write-off for these owners, and some don't care if they got to spend that. 'Cause they'll use it against their profits, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That is a good question, actually. But yeah, I don't think Steve personally cares either way, but it is a good question.
Well, I know they have rainout insurance. When I was with minor league baseball, if it rained out, then they would get money back, especially with concessions. That's where they make their money, is the concessions.
Mhm.
Uh, so big, big bucks in baseball. That's how they can pay these big salaries. What are the ticket prices like compared to years ago?
I feel like the ticket prices definitely have gone up. I mean, especially now that the Mets are better, they've gone up, but I feel like it also depends, who they're playing, if it's a weekend, weekday, where you want to sit. Personally, if I don't already have tickets to the game, I like to wait till the day of because you usually get a better deal. But I mean, they've definitely gone up. And
And
between that and the food and drink prices, it is expensive.
so, like, what? Give us an example of something food wise. What would it cost?
Um, I know like I once went to get like a hamburger and a drink or something and it was like $30. It's like it's very expensive. The water bottles I know are like $8, which is crazy for a bottle of water. I
That's
mean, it's
paying for
insane.
Lindor, though. Remember, we got to bite the
Yeah,
bullet. That's paying for Francisco.
exactly.
Now, I don't know if we mentioned it at the top, because obviously we had some technical difficulties there. Do you just go to select games, or are you a season ticket holder?
So I have been a season ticket holder in the past. Certain years I'll just go game by game, but either way I go to like 20 to 30 games a season. Last year I think I went to 38 games. That was an all-time high for me. So I'm there a lot either way.
Okay. Because I know since we're on the topic of Steve Cohen, I know that that's been a big improvement in that the season
Mhm.
ticket holders have been treated a lot better. There's a whole lot more perks. They do a
Yeah.
lot of more special things for them, and that they're taking care of the season ticket holders, which are it's kind of like the backbone of Villaroma, like the timeshare. They
Right.
they pay the bills, so that's something that wasn't really established with the previous ownership. So I was just curious about that with that, but man, 20, 30 games last year. Now I'm jealous. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
sleeping over here.
Yeah, I'm really always there. But yeah, Steve and his wife Alex are so nice, and it's crazy because they're so personable with the fans. I've met both of them at the stadium a couple times, and anytime you see them, like they dress like normal people, they'll stop, take pictures, talk with you. Alex follows a lot of the fans on Instagram. She'll message you. Like they're very nice people. You would never know that they're like some of the richest people in the world.
Certainly a breath of fresh air after, like I said, the last ownership group.
Yeah,
Like night and day. You gotta love it.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, what was it, Bob? You wanted me to let you know the next baseball game I go to? I'll just got confirmation right now that Friday we're going to a Syracuse Mets game where we'll have box seats for that. So AAA. So a lot of those Mets players that some people are going on the shelf right now. Maybe we'll see
Yeah.
Adam Ottavino down there in Syracuse after the game he had. He might get demoted. Who knows? But that's just got confirmation. The Syracuse Mets only 45 minutes away, and they got a pretty good team. We're going to see Alvarez. We're going to see Beatty. Maybe
Yeah.
Lucchesi will pitch. So yeah, the first baseball game of the year. It doesn't love minor league baseball, and the station that I'm working with every Saturday, they are also the home of the Syracuse Mets. Shameless plug, 1260 the score in Syracuse.
you
Nice.
go.
That's awesome.
There we go, Bobby.
So, Doc, I had mentioned to Steve when we had our show, a solo show a few weeks ago, right? That we're not sure what Steve's
Good
doing
time.
this summer yet, if he's working with us up there or not. But I said, if he is, you got to pick a Sunday and go to either the Scranton Yankees or the Double-A Hudson Valley Yankees. They're only about 45 minutes from each one, right? About an hour
Yeah, about an hour.
to each one.
Uh,
That's, on our only day off of the week, and that might be a little trip one of those Sundays.
I've been
I
to
say we
both.
do a caravan. I say we go to Casa de Longobardi for an early lunch. We'll all caravan there, and then everyone will follow us going down to whether it's Scranton or whether it's the Bronx, maybe.
Or,
I
or
like that
Hudson,
idea.
Hudson
That's-
Valley. Yeah,
Steph,
Hudson Valley Renegades, not far.
Yeah, they're in over there in outside of Newburgh over there,
Yeah, Beacon area across the bridge,
across the
right
bridge.
near the VA hospital. That stadium gets packed over there.
I've actually broadcast from that stadium before. There's one season where I did the broadcasting for the Hudson Valley Baseball League, and it's one of the only leagues, only one of the only summer leagues that use just wooden bats. So like Joe Panic has been through there, and guys like that, because it's one of those only leagues. Obviously, in Major League Baseball, you can't use aluminum bats. College, you can. Well, this league is pretty much set to be like a pretty cool little summer league where players, can just really hone their craft of using a wooden bat, which is like an art in itself these days.
Well, interesting story from Hudson Valley Renegades. I'm sure you might know this, Bobby. I'm not sure if you know Stephen or Stephanie. The announcer back in the day for the Hudson Valley Renegades was a gentleman called, his name Rick Zolzer. And Rick was announcing a Hudson Valley Renegades game. He was on the PA announcement, and there was a play, I believe was one of the bases, maybe third base. And Paul went the other team's way, and Rick got on the microphone and shouted out the umpire. Precedented. He got fired for it, and guess where he ended up being an announcer? You won't believe it. For the New Jersey Nets, PA announcer.
Oh boy!
When they were in the NBA Finals, I don't know if he still is there, but they said, "Welcome, PA announcer Rick Zolzer," and I knew the name right away from the paper, the story in the paper. So, interesting turn of fate for someone who gets let go and picks up a wonderful job announcing for the New Jersey Nets.
That's pretty cool.
They even gave out a bobblehead for Zolzer when he got thrown out of that game. First of all, there were 5 balks in that game. I don't think I've ever seen 5 balks in my life, nevertheless in just one game. But they even made a bobblehead, so we might have to get Doc Holliday one of those collectibles. I'm sorry, it's a bobble arm. I think it's, his arm is shaking out the window there. Hey, good little collectible we could add there, Doc.
Funny.
I'm surprised you know that story, Stephen.
Well, the internet's our best friend. But, yeah, so, all right. So, Doc, Bobby mentioned, since we're on rules and all that, do you think that a bingo pitch clock will be in effect for next season, for the summer?
You know that in a regular bingo hall, it's only 5 seconds. So sometimes I'm chomping at the bit waiting, 10 to 15 seconds. But
Dude.
know your audience.
5
Yeah.
seconds would be a riot.
You know what, Doc?
The thing is, we always have 10 to 20 cards.
I don't mind slowing down for the folks of Villa Roma.
Except he's 31. He's like a blazer. So yeah, Doc, you're absolutely correct. When I lived in Vegas for about almost a year and a half, 2 years, right? So I've been playing bingo at Villa Roma since Jimmy Festa days, right? So here I am. I had family, older family that lived in Vegas, and I'm, one day I went with them to play bingo at the Sam's Town Casino, one of the local places they go, outside of Vegas. I think it's Henderson. So I'm playing bingo, and all of a sudden, their call numbers like B7, I-23, I-30, and I'm like, what is this? You're right. That's how bingo normally is played.
Yeah.
We got to slow it down for the guests. But yeah,
Yeah.
real bingo in a casino or a place like that, it's like lightning.
If
Interesting.
you ask them to slow down, they'll just kick you out. They won't even slow
Yeah.
down. They'll just say, all right, get lost. We're not
The
slowing
worst, the
down.
worst part was the people who have the little computers for the boards. I guess you pay extra to have like the little computerized bingo boards on your little tablet, whatever. And those things would hit bingo right when the ball's being called because it's all connected. So before the numbers even called out, it's singing "Roll Out the," whatever that damn
Yeah.
song before the numbers called already because it's all computerized.
That's
Yeah.
not as fun. I like finding out on my own that I want.
Exactly. I don't want to automatically go off because it was crazy. It ruined the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a television in some bingo parlors that the next number comes up, so you can get a jump on the daubers. And it's tough because then you have to wait for that number to be called. Sometimes you see the winning number in the screen, but they call the number before and someone has it. But
Mm.
I can understand. It's a very frustrating. It's a frustrating game, that bingo.
By the way,
I-
one of probably the most bizarre item sold at the Villaroma gift shop. They sell daubers there.
What is it?
What is that?
The
A bingo dauber.
Bingo dauber.
Oh, the
I
I
little,
don't know why they sell
mark-
bingo daubers there when we have the slide things there, but they sell bingo daubers in the gift shop.
That's
Every time I
funny.
see
I
that, I
didn't
go,
know
what?
that.
that
Well, you know,
prevents,
did they just
product
start
from
selling
ending
them?
up in the ceilings, I guess. If you
'Cause
use
during
dye.
I
COVID-
don't know, man. I've seen
So-
them. I mean, it could be. I've seen them there. It's crazy. Like, what the hell is this thing for?
Well, during
You don't really
COVID,
use
we
that.
used crayons during COVID. We didn't
Yeah.
use the slides. So some people actually bought daubers. So I think they picked
All right,
up on the
all
dauber.
right, that makes sense then.
Yeah, I
Can
remember.
you imagine people getting 20 cards, right? And they get a dauber, and all the cards are ruined at that point because they're all.
This is
Very
a way
Like,
I've talked about bingo at length. I don't think I've ever talked this much bingo,
Hey,
Masters
all
Baseball and
points
bingo
sports.
here on All Points Sports. That's the name of the
Hey,
game
hey.
right there.
Bingo at Villaroma is a sport in itself.
It is.
I mean,
They take it
I-
seriously.
I don't understand that when someone wins the jackpot, that everybody claps for them. I'm not happy for you. I lost.
I agree. I don't like to be a
lost.
sore
I'm not
loser,
happy
but
for
it's true.
There's Steve back. Yes, I'm not happy that you won. I'm one card away here. I'm one number away. Damn it.
Each week is a little different, and some weeks have their own little innuendos. The thing when maybe a number is called and
Oh, like 47 or
49.
49?
49, yeah.
49.
So
49.
49.
Yes.
The whole audience will say it. And
Mhm.
what?
All right.
But
So
it's fun. It's,
Steph, since you're our special guest today, what are some of your special moments at Villaroma? Since you're one of the super guests up there.
Oh, Villaroma. I've been going to Villaroma since I'm 7, so
wow.
21 years. So, oh
Since
my
probably
gosh, a
since
lot of
2010.
moments. But honestly, I've met like so many of my good friends up there that I'm best friends with at home now. Yeah, 2 of my friends that I met at Villaroma, I don't know if they're watching, but they actually ended up marrying my sorority sister. So I guess I was the connection there. But yeah, I've had so many memories, just bocce, bingo by the pool, just meeting friends and family. We have our Christmas parties back here on Long Island with everyone. It's definitely a big part of my life.
And tell us about the young lady that you brought up. What a performer. And then
Katie,
she
yeah.
goes and wins the Villaroma Got Talent, Katie Masters. What a voice. Have you talked to her recently?
Yes, Katie's been my best friend since college. and I brought her up to Villaroma. She's been there for 2 years, I think now, and she fit right in. She's, an Italian, and yeah, she's very talented. She sings opera, she sings country, she sings pop, she sings musicals, everything. So yeah, she won Villaroma's Got Talent
Wow.
this past year and the year before, but she couldn't make it to the finals. But this year, she brought me back in October, so it was really fun.
So you plan on having her come back this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very
Oh,
nice.
nice.
And tell us about Iggy.
Iggy. Yeah, everybody loves Iggy. Iggy's a Week 33 legend. And he has three lovely daughters who I met at Villaroma also, who are awesome. But yeah, the number two horse, Iggy, that's the legend of Villaroma.
Now, I always have to ask, uh, have you met Matt Holliday?
I have, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No. Okay.
Do
One thing
you
Steve and I
think
have in common is that we root against the iHeart Radio Matt Holiday horse every time it runs.
Mhm.
Right, Steve?
I haven't seen that horse.
sometimes
Yeah, I had
in
to take it
stakes
away.
races,
It's the middle child syndrome in me. I got too jealous. I had to say, Doc, no more Matt Holliday. No more Matt Holliday horse. All right.
once
Well,
in a while have the even Steven and the iHeart Matt Holiday horse.
that's when it gets dicey. You don't want to be there for that. I'm right there cheering that horse on, and maybe it gets ugly. I wouldn't recommend. That's not me at my best right there.
Well, for those that don't know, Matt Holiday works for iHeartRadio, and he's out in Texas. He just made a big move, but the rumor has it, and maybe Steven can put the rumor to rest. We call it Villa rumor that Matt Holiday is actually leaving iHeartRadio to come back to Callicoon to be a farmer. I saw something on the internet about that. Can you shed any light on that, Stephen J?
Dealing with all these different celebrities in the media, it really reminded him of all the horse manure that he saw upstate at Villaroma. It's really, it's apples and apples there. So it just reminded him of all that. No, that is the Villa rumor, Matt Holliday. I think it was when Doc got the goats. I think that's when he really said, all right, enough's enough. So I got to get back up to Villaroma. So as nice as it is being behind a microphone and hanging out with Ryan Seacrest and sitting under the Texas sun 12 months. He wants to go back to Villaroma in the nice, balmy 25-degree weather in March, and that might be it. I think that's what it's going to. But I keep an eye out on social media because who knows? Who knows? Things could change, but that's what I've heard so far.
I'm thinking maybe some goat cheese and goat milk.
And goat yoga too.
Yeah.
You can even add that to the schedule. Now, hey, I hate to break up the whole Villaroma talk, but I'm looking at the schedule, considering that the Mets and Yankees both postponed, so I had to get a head start for this weekend. I did not know that the Mets are playing the Marlins,
They
so
are.
Bobby and Stephanie,
Again,
we got to get a small little breakdown of this on who's going to win. Maybe even a little trash talk if possible. Who's coming out on top after that 3-game series over the weekend?
So the Mets did start the season in Miami, so they already played the Marlins and they did win 3 out of 4.
Oh yeah.
But obviously they've been on a losing streak, so we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that they will take the series again. We shall see.
Well, you just did mention real quick before Bobby jumps in, 3 out of 4 from the Marlins. Looking at the standings, I believe the Mets, that's their only 3 wins. So maybe they can come out on top this weekend and go over 500. That would be a big goal, right, Steph?
Yeah, hopefully, because then they got swept by the Brewers, so those are their only 3 wins. So yeah, hopefully they'll make it back over 500 this weekend.
If only we could play the Marlins 162 games a year, right? But I've never seen that before. A team playing 7 of their first 10
guys,
games against the
guys and
Saints.
gals, let's hold your horses a little bit here. The Miami Marlins and the Mets are same record. They're 3-4 right now. Oh, let's not.
Are we going to be hearing that in September when you eulogize the Marlins that they were both 3-4 after 1 week?
I'll take it as it is. I'll take it right now as it is.
Hey,
The
how
Marlins
good
do have a
has-
good team this year, though, I will say.
I mean, how good has Ara's been, Bobby?
Yeah.
The straight up trade with the Twins for Lopez. I mean, you didn't think that he was going to go back to back batting titles, but after a week, he's looked pretty solid.
And
Luis,
they beat Lopez today.
say that again?
They beat Lopez today.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Hey.
So
All right.
who
My
pitches?
prediction is going to be the Mets will win the series 2-1. Again, only if Sandy Alcantara pitches, because he's one of the best in the game.
Yes. Although I think we did beat him in the first series, but he is a great pitcher. So.
All right. Hey, well, Doc Holliday, what do you think? At 10 o'clock, an hour through, do you think we sneak a little Masters talk in there?
Could sneak a little Masters talk in there. This looks to be a wide open tournament, even though there are some favorites out there. It could be unforgiving, that sport, golf. So I know who my favorites are. Who do you like, Stephen J?
Well, I mean, going into it, it's a 3-horse race. You got Rahm, you got McIlroy, and you got Scheffler. And Scheffler, I believe, is the odds-on favorite in basically every single type of betting app, I believe. If not, him and McIlroy are tied. But Scotty Scheffler coming in, he hasn't stopped since last March or April, I should say. I mean, he's just been playing the most consistent golf. It's another thing to watch out for. I could talk about the PGA guys. I have no idea what any of these live guys are doing. That's what's so tough to keep up with a winner. No one watches live. It's like, it's radio nowhere. You can't find them. I think Brooks Koepka, who always shows up in majors, minus last year, he won, I think, 2 of his last 5 events. So it's an interesting storyline to watch between the Masters, PGA guys, and the live guys. But, I mean, Doc Holliday, a back-to-back for Scotty Scheffler? Could it be?
I think it can be. He's got the stamina. He's young, and he's just an all-around great golfer. Puts the ball straight down the fairway, and just chipping game is unreal, and putting a specialty. Do I like him to be the leader after the first round? I'm not so sure. I've gone with Patrick Cantlay in the first round. I don't know if he could hold it for 4 rounds, but I do like him in the first round. Something tells me Cantlay in the first round, so I put a little wager on Cantlay in the first round through the season's up.
Oh yeah, and it's always interesting to watch the Masters because obviously it's the only one of the 4 majors where it's held at the same event. So as much as you want to hate yourself for picking the same guys, you still have to look at guys like Thomas, like Reed, like DJ, who have had past success for there before, because that's the secret sauce from just playing there over and over and over again. Guys like Reed, JT, DJ, I believe it was also McIlroy. They're guys who have finished in the top 10 in multiple years. I think it was over the last 5 years, at least twice. So also Tony Finau, I think. Max Homa has not finished well. So a lot of people are picking Homa. I'm not. Dark horse for me, Shane Lowry, the Open winner, I believe, from a couple years ago. Had an awful year last year, but he's been hitting the ball a lot better. And you don't need to be a good putter. I know that's Lowry's game. That's not his game, being a poor putter. But Hideki Matsuyama, he was a horrible putter a couple of years ago, and he still won the green jacket. But the greens are fast and dry, and this year nothing but rain at Augusta, so it's going to throw off all these different guys. I think Thomas is going to be my pick with a Shane Lowry dark horse, and maybe even Dustin Johnson out of nowhere.
I also like Will Zalatoris. Zalatoris is like a robot out there. Just the way he swings and everything is so defined. And he did very well last year in the Masters up until the final day. He was right there with Scheffler. I like a Will Zalatoris as well.
Yeah, and that's where he came into his own just a couple of years ago, Will Zalatoris, and now all of a sudden he's kind of a semi-household name, and he did have a neck injury a couple months ago, but he came right back and really didn't miss a beat. So Will Zalatoris, another good pick. from the Dockster, Bobby Blackjack. You picked UConn a couple weeks ago for this tournament. So even if you don't know a lot of golf, you got to throw at least one name out there because I'm going to put some money on whoever you pick. Because if we listened to you for the NCAA tournament, maybe Doc and I wouldn't even be doing the show right now. We'd be on a boat somewhere.
Dustin Johnson.
DJ, all right. DJ's a good pick. Maybe Spieth. I'd love to see Spieth win another. He's also been playing consistent golf, and of course he's got a green jacket there.
I have a
He's
Spieth.
very
I have a
consistent
Spieth,
there.
and I also have a Ricky Fowler. In a little bit of a slump. Fowler and Spieth I have, as well as Cantlay and Scheffler.
And hey, even a couple of long shots too. I mean, Jason Day, he seems like the dark horse that's not a dark horse, who everyone's picking. I think he's like 28 to 1, something like that. Doc, you might have to do a little double checking on that since you're a Caesars extraordinaire. But Jason Day has been playing fantastic golf. I think his scoring average since I want to say like February or something has been just unbelievable. Jason Day, veterans, right? The older guys usually kind of win the Masters, even though you've had a couple of blips here and there with some young guys. It's usually an experienced field who always wins it. Think of your Bubbas, obviously Tiger Woods a couple years ago, DJ, guys who have seen that course many times, and also maybe Tommy Fleetwood as well, who just like Shane Lowry had a very poor basically 2 years, kind of lost all of his confidence, but now he's slowly making some progress. I think he played well at the Genesis, Fleetwood, and that's another long shot too, Fleetwood. I can't see him being anything at least under like 40 to 1. So those are a couple of my guys. So Bobby's going DJ.
Well, Jason Day is at plus 2,500. Also, I like Cameron Smith plus 2,200. DJ's 2,200. Cantlay's 1,800. Spieth 1,400. Of course, Scotty Scheffler plus 550. Rory is plus 600, and John Rahm plus 800. Those are the first 4. So I say it's wide open. Golf is.
So guys, for
And even Sunday.
so guys, for Stephanie's sake, Tiger Woods playing this weekend?
Oh yeah,
Does he still play? I don't even know.
he'll be there.
Yeah, Tiger's in there. He's not one of the favorites. He's at
Tiger will be there. He's always going to have the largest crowd around him, and he'll be the fan favorite. That's for sure. And if we can get another one like we did in 2019, it could really bring anyone to tears. Maybe just like me a couple years ago. But Doc, for the Masters for this year, it's going to be who wants to be the most aggressive. You obviously have to be calculated, but they've made a couple of changes to the Augusta course where they've kind of moved the holes back, making some par fives where you're going to think to yourself, do I go for it? Do I be aggressive and maybe get a putt here for eagle? Or do I play it the safe way? And you got to be calculated at Augusta this week. So especially going on that amen corner where they made all those adjustments, it's going to be who wants to take the smart risks. But the fortune favors the bold sometimes. And at Augusta, what could be better?
I like Morikawa. You follow Morikawa at all?
Morikawa, I mean, he's the best ball striker on the tour, especially with his irons. He won 2 majors in 2 years, going back with he won the Open and then he won the Players. So you can never count Morikawa out like that. I'm sure he's probably in the top 15 odds. He might be up there. I don't think he's really produced at Augusta the last couple of years. I could be wrong on that, but I wouldn't pick Morikawa. But like I said, he's an excellent golfer who can hit an iron. I can only dream of. So who knows, right? I'd love to see a Rory, Rahm, and Scheffler top 3 going into Sunday. We might even have Monday or Tuesday golf with the way it's looking at Augusta. But we'll sit back, relax, watch it, celebrate. Augusta's a 4 long day weekend. Why can't we make Doc Holliday's birthday a long weekend, right? It doesn't have to go. We'll go Thursday to Sunday too.
Yeah. So Steph, again, the Mets, Marlins this weekend. They're going to be at home. It's the home opener. What do you plan on doing? You're going to tailgate? Are you going to get something at the park? What's it going to look like?
Sadly, I think this is the first time I won't be able to make it all weekend, just because Friday's a day game. Saturday is actually Villaroma guest Ronnie's birthday, and Sunday is Easter. But normally, yeah, I would be there tailgating. I'm sure people will be there really early. And like I mentioned, the new spot, the K Corner. I'm sure that'll be a great pregame and postgame spot. So I definitely plan to check that out a lot this season. I'm sure it'll be a fun weekend there, though.
Yeah,
Very nice.
It's a shame that Verlander couldn't start for that home opener because he would have gotten a great reception. Too bad. I think it was his shoulder that ended up being. But if those two stay
Yeah.
healthy, Scherzer and Verlander, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon. They lined it up hoping he would start, but we got Tyler Miguel, who was our starter last year too when DeGrom got hurt. So
That's
we shall
right.
see.
Now, be honest. Did it make you smile a little bit when you saw that DeGrom got lit up in his opening debut with the Rangers?
I'm not gonna lie, it did. It looked like he was more back to DeGrom today, but I do still wish him the best. I know some fans have hard feelings toward him, but he was always one of my favorites. I loved watching him, so I will miss watching him on the Mets this year.
Yeah, good bounce back for DeGrom. Maybe a little nerves. Maybe just
Hmm.
it was the Phillies, but interesting reception. I feel like it's kind of 50-50. There are those that they knew he wasn't going to come back. He was going to ask for way more than what the Mets offered him. But then again, you got to look at all the good times he gave you and how one of the top Mets pitchers of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, hey, well, we've reached the 70 plus minute mark. A good whole lot of Mets talk finally.
Hmm.
A lot of Yankees talk the last couple weeks. You finally get a resident Met fan on here to kind of bounce back and tell us that maybe the Yankees aren't gonna be the best team in New York. Maybe there's
Maybe not.
a little competition in the casa there. So I don't know.
When did
Maybe
they play the first time, the Yankees Mets?
I think it's sometime in June, I want to say.
yeah. Usually it was interesting last year. They only did like two-game series, I think, with the Mets. Hopefully, with the new kind of schedule changes, we can get a couple more games out of that because that's always a good time. But I'll check that out right now, Dockster.
Yeah, I believe they're during the week this year. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 games though.
I got one more question for our special guest here,
Hmm.
F. If you were the new GM of Villaroma, what would you change or add to your experience?
Ooh, the new GM of Villaroma. Um, hmm. It's a good question. Maybe I'd give some cash prizes for good old Bocce, or I miss Marty's Lounge personally, so
Well,
I'd
well,
probably
Steph, the last two times I DJ there, 2 weeks ago, I was in Marty's Lounge.
Were you?
Yes, so I
Oh,
don't know if that's a sign of things to come. We don't know yet.
Well, Bob,
hopefully. So that
I
We
can
don't
changes
tell
know
you
yet.
things
this:
out, I guess.
he was the only one in Marty's
I was the
Lounge.
only one in Marty's Lounge for
Yeah.
2 days. Me and Blake, the bartender. It was just a two-person party.
Uh,
I think
well, you
it's,
definitely wouldn't be the only one
Hey,
week
it's a
33.
crowd, right?
so well,
Um,
I just a sign of things to come. We'll see.
that'd be
And
nice,
hopefully,
yeah.
there you go. And hopefully, it's not a sign of things to come for the Mets because right behind Stephanie, just like possibly the Mets season, it might be coming down. We see half of it.
I know this is
A
starting
bad
to fall.
omen. Might be a bad omen. Who knows?
Yeah,
The
hopefully
Brewers.
that's not an omen.
All right.
So
Hey,
you
so
come up week 33. Do you come up any other weeks, Stephanie? I know you were up in October for the bocce finals, and
Yeah.
Katie had the talent finals. So any other weeks that you come up to Villaroma?
In the past I've been up during Thanksgiving and New Year's, but normally it's just week 33, sometimes October. I'd love to come again during the summer. You never know. But definitely week 33 always.
Very nice. And we have, of course, Jimmy Stir weekend coming up, April 14th, 15th, and 16th. And that's coming up at Villaroma. Chris Monty, our special guest last night, will be performing here on April 15th. And I'll post the rest of the entertainment as well. Bobby Blackjack and myself will be doing a show on the Catskills and keeping the Catskills alive up here. Villa Roma, one of the last resorts in the Catskills, and they're opening up the Catskills Museum of all the old Catskills resorts, and that'll be opening on April 19th. There's going to be all sorts of stuff on the internet going on, and we're looking forward to that. All the Villa Roma memorabilia from years ago, along with the Concord and Kutcher's and Grossingers and all the famous resorts up here.
So, Doc, back in the day when I was a little boy going to Villa Roma, it's almost 40 years for me. It's over 40 years. There used to be 8 bocce courts. So, rumor has it one of those bocce courts is going to appear at this Catskill Museum. Like, they found it and they're going to put it together and
Wow.
have
They'll
it
put it
functional.
back together. I think he also had skeet shooting where the bocce.
Yes, we did.
No.
Yeah. So you literally had to, like, you can throw a bocce, and they can run over there and, shoot some things out of the sky, and then, by the time your turn was up, you're ready to throw again.
So we'll have to speed up the bocce. Like Stephen J said, maybe we'll speed up the bocce a little bit, just like they did with baseball. I'd like to see them
Bocce
speed
clock.
up golf a little bit.
Speed up golf. Well, if you play with me and Dad, I don't know if we can get any quicker than that. I'm sure Stephanie can attest the Long Islanders. I feel like we got a little bit more of a, ready and go, and it's like we're
Yeah.
driving. We don't really have a lot of patience out on the golf course, so we try and speed it up a bit as much as we can. But maybe a golf. We're just gonna put a timer on everything. That's what it is now.
So, Doc, I have a golf question for you. If vintage Tiger Woods uses full power of his swing at the hole number 1 tee box, where on your property would that ball land, you think?
Yeah, we'd land right on the edge of the property.
Right? You go over the woods and end up right, pretty close to the
To paint by numbers, one of the horses out in the field. I've found a couple of balls out in the field, actually.
have you?
Yeah.
Probably mine when I shanked it, so many times.
Yeah.
All right, Steph. Well, thanks for joining us. It was great having you on, and of course, you're always welcome to come on in the future.
Yeah,
And,
thanks
it
for
is,
having me.
It is April 15th. You're busy with your tax work, and it's going to be May. It's going to be June, and next thing you know, we're going to be up there, doing what we do.
Yes,
There
can't
you
wait.
go. It'll be week 33.
Well, we
Yeah.
want to ask Stephanie before she leaves us, Bobby, her predictions for the World Series this year, Major League Baseball.
Not to be biased, I'm gonna say the Mets, and I think maybe the Astros again. Let's go Mets, Astros.
Bobby, is that the nightmare scenario for us Yankee fans right now? I don't know if I can't. Maybe like Red Sox, Mets. That'd be the
Red
only
Sox.
next
Red Sox.
thing worse. But man, I'm already living, button heads with my roommate. He's a Red Sox fan. But all right, Astros. Yeah, we got to keep a whole list of all of our guests, and maybe we'll send them a whole All Point Sports care package. The person who correctly picks the World Series. What do you say, Doc?
I love it. Watch out for Toronto. They're undefeated.
Tampa
Braves
Bay,
are
right?
playing big ball right now. Braves are 5-1, and I could say that watch out for Toronto. I'm a Yankee fan, but watch out for those Blue Jays. When we go head to head, it'll be a telltale sign. Astros not playing too good right now. If you're a betting person and you bet on the Astros every game, you're not doing too well.
Well, they lost Altuve, right, for the season.
Yeah, they're definitely missing Altuve. No Verlander going from Texas to New York certainly doesn't help. But hey, no complaints here about a slow start from the Houston Astros. It's because we don't hear any trash cans. That's why. That's why they haven't been doing so good. No one's been banging on those trash cans like they used to.
What do you say, Stephen J? Who are your pick?
Well, I picked the San Diego Padres to win the World Series this year. I felt like they've kind of been knocking at the door, obviously adding a couple of key pieces. The Bogarts deal was definitely the larger one, but I think once they get Tatis back, I mean, that'll be the best lineup in baseball, really. And they shored up the whole pitching staff. Yeah, they can get Blake Snell going back to what he was at Tampa Bay. That'd certainly be good. But I mean, you have Hader, the closer. It's all about starting pitching in the postseason, and they sure got it with Musgrove and Darvish and the bats. I mean, all they need is Soto. They just need Soto to kind of come into his own. But with Tatis coming back, I mean, that's a firecracker coming into the lineup. So for me, it's going to be the San Diego Padres winning it all. So that's my pick. As much as I'd love to say it's the Yankees, hopefully I'm wrong.
And Bobby,
I'm with Steven there with Yankees and Padres, but for the sake of a better argument later on the season, here we go again.
Well,
Come back to me.
Well, my AL pick I've kind of sheeped out on because I don't even know who it is. I wouldn't even. I mean, as much as I'd want to pick the Yankees going up against the Padres, Doc said maybe the Blue Jays and maybe even the Twins. The Twins are looking very, very good as kind of a dark horse. But right now, I mean, Astros are on top until someone knocks them off. So Astros, Padres for me. But I guess Bobby Blackjack hit the head early.
no, here he is.
No, I
Go to Miami for the game on Friday, right?
wish. Jeez, I need a vacation before the summer comes. But it looks like we have some wacky weather tomorrow. We have like a 40-degree drop in temperature after it hits like 83 degrees. Supposed to be in the 40s at night. I mean, I've never seen this before. I don't know if any of you have. Like they've already canceled Mets Marlins here in New York and Yankees Baltimore in Baltimore, and I guess the storms are going to be that bad, right? No, we'll see.
Bad everywhere.
Careful, yeah.
Tomorrow's supposed to be a great day with the start of the Masters. We got more baseball, the Mets homestand, and Mother Nature's getting in the way. It's been a great week of sports so far. Let's keep it up. We'll keep it going with Knicks winning, of course, UConn winning, and it ended off on Doc Holliday's birthday with a great Masters weekend, and maybe we can get some baseball in there too. But Mother Nature not being kind to us.
Yeah.
No. So, Steph, tell your fans and your family and friends and Week 33 friends that later on tonight, this episode will be live. Well, not live. It'll be on Villa Roma TV, channel 114 of Blackjack TV. And if you want to link yourself, the link I sent you on your page, you can watch it there as well.
Okay, awesome.
Once it goes off, it's on YouTube, so you can just play it and replay it again.
And I've shared it all over the Facebook and the Villa Roma Radio and all. So it's going to be all over on the Facebook as well.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, well, thank you to all of our guest hosts, especially Stephanie, our resident Net fan. Hopefully this won't be your last time on. We certainly enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime during the year, right?
Yes, it was a lot of fun. I'd love to come back.
Awesome.
We'll have her on again. We'll have her on before the summer, after she takes her, long anticipated vacation post tax season, right?
Yes, definitely.
Maybe even a spot right here at Villa Roma. We could do a remote from Villa Roma Resort.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you say, Bobby?
It works. Works for me.
All right. When are you back at Villa Roma, Bobby?
I asked you that yesterday. 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks. So look
2
for
weeks.
Bobby Blackjack at Villa Roma in 2 weeks. Look for Stephen J at Oswego State. And on the radio, you can listen to him. Tell us the station, Stephen.
Yeah, that'll be at 11 o'clock on Saturday on 1260 The Score in Syracuse. You can listen on the Odyssey app, and it's a CBS Sports affiliate. It's anywhere you can get CBS Sports, the Odyssey app. 1260 The Score, and we'll be rocking and rolling on a Saturday at 11 o'clock.
And if you're at the stadium at Citi Field and you see this young lady, Stephanie Flom, make sure you say hello. And if
Make sure you get an autograph.
done any accounting questions, make sure you put in your questions to Steph Flom. He's the expert tax consultant right here on All Points Sports. Everyone have a great night.
By the way, if Steph's not in her seat, she's in the K section. dancing to the DJ.
Trey corner, yeah.
Take care. Have a great night. Happy Easter. Buona Pasqua. Happy Passover.
Enjoy the Masters. And
Enjoy
an
the
early happy birthday to Doc Holliday, of course.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday,
Thank you
Doc.
so much. Go Canole.